Congratulations, you decided to write an ebook. The problem is you made that decision 6 months ago. It seems like every time you're ready to get started, something always seems to come up. You get busy at work. You get sick. Your friend calls you and says, "Hey, I need you to help me work on a project that I'm working on." Or it just seems like it's just not the right time. The truth is, most people never finish the ebook. Most people never finish anything that they actually want to do. And the reason is because they never get started. And the reason they never start? Procrastination. By the end of this video, you'll know the secret truth about procrastination, why you procrastinate, and how you can stop procrastinating today. Since 2013, I've published several print books, ebooks, and audiobooks, and I procrastinated through each one of them. And in January of 2025, I decided I wanted to write another ebook. And I found myself still struggling with procrastination. But then I remembered something. One of the most common definitions of procrastination is the act of delaying, putting off, or postponing, especially due to habitual carelessness or laziness. And according to all of the internet motivational people, the 24/7 grind people, and the go big or go home people, according to them, it's not procrastination. You're just lazy or you just don't want it bad enough. At first, I thought all of those people were right. But then I thought about who I am as a person. And then I realized they're not wrong. They're completely wrong. 3 points here. First of all, I'm not a careless person, and I'm not habitually careless. Second of all, I'm not lazy. And because you're watching this video, I know you're not a careless person, and I definitely know that you're not a lazy person. And my third point, nothing created by the universe is designed to harm you or to stop you. So that ebook that I talked about, I wanted to write in January of 2025. Yes, I was struggling to write that book. And yes, I was procrastinating. But the truth is, procrastination was not my problem. Procrastination was not the issue. I needed to redefine procrastination and understand what it actually is and not look at it as some kind of boogeyman or some kind of villain that was ruining my life and preventing me from accomplishing and achieving the things that I wanted in my life. Which leads me to step two. But before we get to step two, if you're struggling to get started writing your ebook because you don't know where to start or you don't know how to get started, or you're struggling to finish your ebook, click on the link in the description below. Remember, I said that nothing created by the universe is designed to harm you or to stop you. That being the case, procrastination obviously is something that is experienced by all human beings, so it's a part of our universe. So that means it's not designed to harm you and it's not designed to stop you. So if it's not designed to harm you or stop you, that means it's there to help you. And by understanding and redefining procrastination, I began to see it as my ally and not my enemy. And most of the time you procrastinate, it's because it's something that you don't want to do. So for example, suppose I came to you and said, I've got a round trip ticket to Hawaii and an all expense paid trip to stay at a 5-star resort for 2 weeks. How long would it take you to pack? Probably less than a day. You'd be ready to go. But there are times when you procrastinate when it's something that you actually want to do. Like me, for example, I really did want to write that ebook, but I was still procrastinating. Why? This is where the understanding of procrastination is critical. As an infant, you didn't procrastinate because you didn't understand at that age that your actions, your choices, and your decisions produced certain outcomes and results. And you stayed that way until you got probably about school age. About school age, you start to understand that if I do A, B might happen, or C might happen, or D might happen. You began to develop a sense of awareness. You began to understand how you interact with the world and how the universe actually operates. The problem the problem arises when you go beyond just the awareness piece, when you go beyond just assessing. So let's take me for example. Even though I did want to write the ebook, um, I was procrastinating because I was thinking or I had some deeper questions that were unanswered. So I was procrastinating because I was analyzing, assessing, and thinking, is that a topic that I really want to write about? Is it a topic that I wanted to be tied to long term? Is it something maybe I didn't want to write an ebook? Maybe I wanted to write a course. Maybe I wanted to do some one on one with people. Maybe I wanted to do a workshop. Maybe I wanted to create a community. There were a lot of questions on the back end that I was struggling to deal with, and I didn't have the answers to those questions. So I was procrastinating. So procrastination is simply you taking the time to assess, analyze, and to question the thing that you're about to do. Procrastination is a short term issue. It's something just, it's like a pause. It's like a caution. Now, if you find yourself weeks, months, maybe even years, and you're still dragging your feet, you still haven't done the thing that you say you want to do, that's not procrastination. That's a totally separate issue. That's what I call a development issue. What I mean by that is the person that you need to be in that moment to do the thing you say you want to do, you are not that person. You haven't developed into that person. So, for example, when I talked about or for example, I wrote a book in 2020. And at that moment, I was a writer and an author, and that's where my head was. That book that I wrote that's on Amazon, it actually could have been a bestseller. It could have been $1 million book because the category that I was talking about was a very popular category. Because a lot of people were interested in the topic of purpose. So if I had followed and did the thing that I knew I should have done or knew that I should be doing, then that book would have been it would have sold several hundred thousands of copies. But as I said, I was in the mindset of being a writer and author. I hadn't developed into the mindset or developed into the person of an entrepreneur, of a person who was a marketer, of a person who was willing to create an audience and offer that book to that audience. I just had not grown into that person. I hadn't developed into that person. I'm that person now, but I wasn't that person then. And that's where you find that you have a development issue when you find that you're not moving long term into the thing that you say you want to do. That's not procrastination. You just haven't developed into the person you need to be to do the thing that you need to do. And that's okay. That's just a process. That just takes time. And procrastination and the self-development piece, those are things that will only occur or show up to you when you're starting to do something new, when you're starting to make a change, when you're moving into something that's foreign to you. Okay, the next step is about fixing procrastination. Okay, let's say you want to write an ebook and you want to write the ebook so you can sell it and create another stream of income for yourself. This is new to you. This is something that's foreign to you. So eventually the excitement and the novelty of it is going to wear off and procrastination is going to set in. So you don't want to panic and you don't want to listen to the other group of people that I talked about earlier and start calling yourself lazy and careless. That's not what you want to do. During this procrastination period, all you want to do is just to take this time to step back and ask yourself some critical questions. Are you not pursuing the opportunity because maybe you're going to have to stop scrolling on social media? Maybe you're going to have to put the remote down. Maybe you're going to have to change your habits. Maybe you're going to have to involve yourself with some new people who think the way you think and who are going in the direction that you're going. Maybe you're going to have to pull yourself back from some current relationships because those people aren't thinking the way you do. Maybe you're going to have to stop working more on the job and start working more on yourself? All of these are critical questions you have to ask during this procrastination period. What is it that is actually holding me back? It might be your spouse. It might be significant other in your relationship. Maybe they're not, it's not about them supporting you. Maybe they're actually speaking negatively about what it is that you want to do. And that's creating a reason for you to pause or not fully move into this opportunity. What I found was I always came up with the answer, and if I didn't come up with the answer, then I knew it was a development issue. I knew in that moment I was not the person who was ready to do the thing that I said I wanted to do. So either way I came up with a solution. I was either procrastinating for a specific reason, which was short term, or I realized that the person that I needed to be to do the thing that I said I wanted to do, I was just not that person. And I accepted that. And I became okay with that because I knew it was just a part of the process of change and growing. But the one thing I did not do, and what you don't want to do, is you don't want to get into the place of where you're criticizing yourself, where you're calling yourself lazy or careless, or you're thinking of yourself as less than, or you're thinking of a person who doesn't want it bad enough. You don't want to sign on for that kind of stuff. That stuff is negative, and that will definitely keep you in a place of being stuck. If you apply these 3 steps, procrastination won't be an issue for you anymore, and you'll be able to go ahead and write your ebook or be able to accomplish any of the other goal that you have set for your life. And if you need help starting your ebook or you need help finishing what you've already written, click on the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.